Most things in life come down to what you feel about yourself. Change your feelings and you change your life. Change how you perceive particular feelings and you change your life even more. Page 116 from my book, Live the Life You Deserve. I just got off the phone with one of my clients. I actually had 3 clients today. And one of the common themes that we talked about is the association you have with your feelings and your mental image and the image of yourself and how that plays out in your life and in your world. And the first client I talked to, we're working together to change her mindset around money and around worthiness, around her boundaries, around her discipline, around how she shows up to the things that she shows up to her friends, to her family, to her relationships. I asked her to describe, when it comes to money, what she wants. What do you want? That was the question. What do you want when it comes to money? And everything she said, well, I don't want this, I don't want that, I don't want this, I don't want that, I don't want this, I don't want that. And there's nothing wrong with that. That is what most people do. Because we've perceived pain and we want to avoid pain, we want to avoid lack, we want to avoid suffering, we name what we don't want. We don't want that pain that we experience. We don't want that suffering that we experience. And so that becomes the forefront of what we express to ourselves and to others and to the universe. I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want that. The problem with that from just a vibrational frequency is that you're not tuned in to what you do want. You can articulate to us what you don't want, but what do you want? And just that simple question, I ask my clients this all the time, whether they're brand new or whether they've been with me for years. And this simple question, it paralyzes people sometimes, because the question of what do you want? 2 things. One, people often don't hear that question. And then secondly, a lot of the times people don't feel validated in their pursuit of what they actually want. And so they have a resistance to actually say what they want, because they're thinking subconsciously, even if I say what I actually want, it doesn't matter because I won't get it. So the work is reassessing your self-image, the image in how you see yourself, the image. And again, this was a client, we were talking about money, but it pertains to other aspects. The relationship that she has with money is a one that she perceives is full of lack and no direction and no clarity. So as a consequence, the end result is lack, no direction, no clarity. And so what we did today was we went deep on getting clear. Clarity is king. We got clear on what image, what self-image, not the image your parents give you, not the image society has of you, not the image that people on social media have of you, but your self-image, how you see yourself, how you perceive yourself. What we did today was we got clear on how you need to perceive yourself, so your perception of self is in direct alignment with the reality that she wants to live in. Okay, so what happens a lot of the time when we do this is people go back to their old self, to their old habits, to their old ways. There's nothing wrong with this, because at the start, you're operating from what you knew. And so when you're building a new habit, you will always go back to the whole old habit until you break the habit. So what we want to do, though, is we want to get clear on a few things. One, we want to get clear on why. Your brain needs to know why. Why are you doing this? I can tell you, hey, upgrade the image of yourself and your whole life will change. Right? I can tell you that. And it is true, but you're going to be like, okay, well, whatever. Doesn't pertain that much to me. I might just scroll past this. But if I tell you to get clear on why you're upgrading your mental image, on the why, what is the consequence of you upgrading your mental image? In this situation with my client, it is a better regulated nervous system. It is purpose that she's getting from her work. It is feeling like she belongs to a community and to a mission that's bigger than her. It is regulating her nervous system, knowing that she's going to have money coming in and she'll have money saved up that she can use should there be an emergency. And there's multiple reasons. They go on and on and on. And so as you're looking to change your life, the more that you can get clear on why you're looking to integrate certain changes, certain beliefs, certain mindset changes, certain habits, the more you can get clear on why, the easier it is to actually do, because we're not after motivate. Like you can't do this from a space of motivation. It doesn't matter how motivated you are when we're talking about changing your nervous system, changing your life, changing the way that you show up, changing the way that you see yourself. It doesn't matter if you're motivated or not. This is bigger than motivation. And so that's why it's essential that you get clear on your why, because your why doesn't rely on motivation. Your why relies on purpose. It relies on understanding. It relies on, if you have a connection with the universe or with God, it relies on that relationship. Right? Your why is bigger than motivation. Okay, so the next part. What I want her to do every morning for the next, until we talk again, is to journal 3 to 5 minutes, stream of consciousness journaling every morning, literally writing down what her thoughts are around money, and not what she doesn't want, what she does want. What do you want? What do you want to feel? What do you want to create? Who do you want to be? What do you want to attract? How do you want to operate? How do you want to handle money? How do you want to think about money? How do you want to feel about money? How do you want other people to perceive you? How do you want other people to think about you, right? What will happen for her? This client just started with me. What will happen for her is that through the repetition of journaling, doing the stream of consciousness journaling every morning, through that repetition, what will happen is that her subconscious programming will change. Her subconscious priming for how she feels about herself will change. She will move out of the space of lack of, I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this. And she'll move into a space of, well, I created this, I sold this, I built this, I made that. Yeah, I got 100K over here. I make 10K a month from this business. This business is going to make me 50K next month. I got this coming in. And all it is just a mental switch. I'll never forget. Shout out to Sherry Salata. She was the executive producer at the Oprah show for a good 15, 20 years. You guys can follow her here on Instagram or I think she has a podcast too. And I was talking with her one day. And she said something to me. She said, Sylvester, you like writing books. You've got a bunch of books. You've written like 10 books, right? I'm like, yeah, I got a bunch of books. And she goes, are they hard to write? I say, yeah, they are. Of course. Like, they are hard. It takes a long time. And writing a good book is very difficult. And she goes, okay. And when you get paid from a book, I mean, you probably don't make a lot of money on a book, do you? I'm like, nah, not really. You have to sell a lot of books to make money on books. And she goes, I want you to re-engineer how you think about business. I was like, okay. And she goes, I want you to realize that the next level of money for you is you realizing that you don't have to do hard things to make a lot of money. And I'm looking at her like, huh? What are you talking about? I was raised like everybody else was raised. Work hard, show up, stay dedicated, give yourself, give your all. And she says, when you're in alignment with your gifts, when you're in alignment with your dreams, when you're in alignment with your skill sets, there's no such thing as hard work. There's just dedication. And that, I never told her this, but that meant something to me because I have a tattoo right here on my left arm. I'm not about to show you. But it does, one of the words in there is the word dedication. And so I left that meeting. This was a good 6 years ago, 5-6 years ago. And I left that meeting realizing that when she was talking about dedication, in context, we were talking about ways you can change how you're doing your business. But what I realized is from that meeting is that You can be dedicated to a particular lifestyle that is going to yield the results you want, right? The person who goes to the gym 3, 4, 5 times a week, they're dedicated to a particular lifestyle, and that dedication is leading them to the results they want. And so they don't even have to think about, oh, I'm tired, I don't feel like going to the gym. Like it doesn't matter how they feel. They're dedicated to that self-image of I'm going to the gym 3, 4, 5 times a week, whatever it is. It doesn't matter how I feel. It doesn't matter what anyone else feels about me. It doesn't matter what people think about me. This is what I'm dedicated to. And so when you find that dedication, then what happens is the pursuits that we're on, like our self-image of the pursuits that we're on, they shift and they alter because most people aren't that dedicated. Okay? Most people aren't that dedicated. I'm going to be completely honest with you and transparent with you. I've met millions of people. I've talked to millions of people. Most people aren't that dedicated. Most people are about halfway into things. There's been thousands of people who have reached out to me and said, hey, I want to write a book. What's your best advice for me? And first of all, I don't have any advice for you. I have no advice for you. Because if you need someone to validate your journey, you're not going to do it. You have to be self-driven by these things. You have to be self-motivated by these things. Now, I'm not saying that you cannot find a mentor or someone to teach you or someone to lead you or someone to look up to or a hero who inspires you. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is if you're not driven by self, and this goes back to the why, if you're not driven by your why, there's no one else that can help you. Imagine being a 14 years old, right? And you go up to, say, Kyrie Irving. He's one of the best basketball players of all time. And we know that Kyrie Irving has an amazing skill set of dribbling, elite skills, just an elite offensive player, completely aware of what's going on, a magician, a genie on the court. When you're watching him, what you're watching is 100,000 hours of dedication. You're watching someone who's clear on their purpose. You're watching someone who's clear on their path. You're watching someone who does not make excuses about what they care about. You're watching someone who has a clear mental self-image of who they want it to become. Even as, we have evolved and grown and changed, right? Because we all do. That person that we're referring to in this analogy, they were clear on who they wanted to become. Your mission is to get clear, right? Clarity is what we were talking about at the top of this chat. Your mission is to get clear on who you want to be. Your mission is to get clear on your self-image. How do you show up? How do you treat yourself? How dedicated are you actually? Right? I'm not pitching and let me be clear, when I'm saying dedication, I don't want you to hear that I'm speaking to you from a place of scarcity. I'm not. I'm speaking to you from abundance. If you love something, you honor it. If you're dedicated to it, you honor it. If you want to play basketball for a living, you probably play every day. If you want to have a great marriage, you probably invest in it every single day. There's probably no days that you miss. If you want to have a great marriage, you need to be in it every single day. If you want to write a book, if you want to write 5 books, 10 books, you probably need a writing practice that does not get disturbed no matter what. If you want to become the district manager at Lowe's and right now you're the sales rep, you need to be the top sales rep in your region, and then the assistant manager, and then the store manager, and then do ride-alongs and put yourself in a position to be so dedicated that you understand business and people and management to a degree that nobody else does. And so when it's time for that promotion, you are the only choice. That level of commitment and dedication, that level of clarity and purpose, that level of honoring what you care about is what gets you where you want to go in life. It's not being halfway in. It's not about making excuses about what your parents didn't do for you or what you did not have access to or who you cannot be or who's holding you back or who's against you or who's your enemy. None of that is relevant. That is all a waste of your time. What it comes down to is this: you get clear on what you want, how you want to show up, who you want to be, and that's it. You don't need parents' validation, society's validation, social media's validation. You don't need my approval. You don't know, nobody needs to say you're doing a good job with that. It doesn't matter if you're doing a good job, because when you're dedicated, every job won't be good. There will be a mess. There will be problems. There will be failure. There will be stress. There will be road bumps. But the sign of a true champion, and if you've made it this far, you're likely a true champion in life. You've likely overcome and had a bunch of victories in your life. The sign of a true champion is how they show up when there's adversity. The sign of a true champion is how they lead, not only themselves and others. The sign of a true champion is having clarity in your mission and sticking to your mission no matter what happens, no matter what occurs. That's what separates us champions and us winners from other people. We keep going regardless of how difficult it is. We keep showing up regardless of what we're going through. We keep showing up and we stay dedicated. That's what champions do. That's what winners do. And do you know why? It's because we're clear on our purpose. We're clear on our mission. It's an unshakable mission. The mission the mission that I had at 25 is the same mission but different at 40. And so my conviction and my dedication at 25 is the same dedication I have at 40. Because it's a life path. And when you love something, you honor it. You treat it with respect. And so if you really love your life, which I assume you do because I do, and we are sharing a vibrational frequency right now, if you really love your life, then you have to get up, make no excuses for yourself. And if you're not good at something, you learn. Go hire a mentor. Go hire a coach. Go hire a trainer who can teach you. Go get the books you need to learn the information. Get off of looking at what celebrities are doing and what these billionaires are doing and learn and get dedicated, right? And on top of learning, you also need the experience. So get involved, get involved and start getting your name out there in whatever you're doing. It doesn't matter if you're a rookie and you're a beginner, you're allowed to be that. Don't compare yourself to the person who has 100,000 hours put into the thing. If you're a day one basketball player, you wouldn't compare yourself to Kyrie Irving because he's put in 100,000 million hours. You look at him as one of your heroes. You say, okay, great. This guy's a phenomenal skill set. He has a phenomenal skill set. I see it. And that's just my reminder to be great with how I practice, with how I think of myself, with my mental image of how I show up. So your homework as you leave this podcast or video or post, wherever you're seeing this, is to get clear on your mental image. How do you see yourself? How do you see yourself? How are you treating yourself? How are you showing up to the things that are important to you? No one else knows. It's just you. It's just you. So you can have integrity or you cannot. You can skip the gym. You can skip the library. You can skip your studies. You can not text your spouse. You can not call her. You can avoid getting the flowers. You can avoid the dates. You can avoid the tough conversations. You can avoid getting clarity in your business. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. You know what it is that you need to stop doing. You know what it is that you need to integrate. You know what it is that you need to get more clear on. And if you focus on lack, it will be much harder for you. But once you focus on, I will do this. I can do this. I'm capable of this. I'm ready for this. It is my time. It is my opportunity. I'm attracting this. I'm calling this in. I'm ready for this. It is my time. It is my opportunity. Once you focus on what you can do, what you're calling in, positive energy, once you focus on putting that out there, life is just currency. Life is just energy. That's all life is. Everything is just energy. You know this. Everything is just energy. So once you focus on cultivating and creating your energy and then focusing it and channeling it, you get the results every single time. Maybe it doesn't come right away like a light switch, but eventually it will come to you, and it will come to you tenfold if that is the energy that you're creating. I love this subject. I love this topic. Woo! My name is Sylvester McNutt III. I am the author of 10 books. Here's my most recent book, Live the Life You Deserve. I have a podcast called the Sylvester McNutt Podcast. I have a group coaching community called the Mastery Circle. We meet every other Saturday. We'll be meeting this Saturday. We've been meeting for 2 years. It's an amazing community where I'm teaching, I'm leading, I'm bringing energy. I do one-on-one coaching for people who would like to go deep. You can find my website to get access to everything. With that being said, I want to thank you so much for your time. If you made it this far, I want to thank you so much for your time, for your patience, for your attention. I pray and I hope that you get what you need by getting in alignment, by getting clear on what you want, on who you want to be, by getting back in your community, and by having a smile on your face, by having good energy, by taking care of yourself and taking care of the people that you care about. See you in the next video. See you in the next podcast. See you in the next post. My name is Sylvester. Much love.